The Constitution grants legislative authority to Congress, not unelected bureaucrats. If we lose that distinction, it won't be long before we lose our freedoms with it. What does a dispute over commercial fishing regulations have to do with the Constitution's guarantees of life, religious freedom, and free speech, or hotly contested issues like gender ideology and women's sports? Put simply, the answer is federal overreach at unprecedented levels. But that will take a little bit of explanation. Let's start on the water. In the last few years, the National Marine Fisheries Service changed the rules requiring herring fishing boats to allow a federal agent to monitor compliance with federal regulations on board their small boats. Beyond the logistical and safety challenges that represents, get this, the fishermen must also pay the monitor's salary of around $700 per day. Overall, the regulation reduces fishing profits by about 20%. That imposition alone may have been enough to cause significant pushback from an industry that already relies on razor-thin profit margins. And perhaps that's why, instead of looking to Congress to legislate the regulation, unelected agency bureaucrats chose instead to create the rule on their own. Led by a New England fishery called Loper Bright Enterprises, a coalition of 4 family-owned and operated fishing companies, represented by Cause of Action Institute, has challenged the rule all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, which has agreed to hear its argument that the federal agency lacked power from Congress to force them to pay for these monitors. What made the administration think it could simply create rules out of thin air that affect entire industries? After all, isn't it the job of Congress to create laws, which the executive branch in turn enforces? Of course it is. Yet over the past several decades, the administrative state and federal bureaucracy has steadily amassed authority never envisioned by the nation's founders. That has dulled the effect of the Constitution's design to separate the powers of government into 3 separate, co-equal branches. While many presidential administrations have played a role in this erosion of checks and balances, the Biden administration has taken things to a new level, using administrative levers to force extreme mandates on the American people that Congress itself has refused to approve. Those policies go far beyond the lawless imposition of regulations on the fishing industry. As made clear in a friend of the court brief Alliance Defending Freedom filed in the Loper Bright case on behalf of the Christian Employers Alliance, the impact goes right to the heart of the nation's most cherished freedoms. In response to the U.S. Supreme Court's 2022 Dobbs decision overturning Roe v. Wade, the Biden administration ramped up its efforts to promote abortion and undermine federal and state laws protecting unborn life and women's health. President Biden's administration poured tens of millions of dollars into abortion facilities like Planned Parenthood, and it began offering money for women to travel to abort their babies. That flies in the face of over 40 years' worth of congressional guarantees that taxpayer funds would not be used for abortions. The administration also ordered veterans' hospitals and emergency rooms to start performing and completing abortions, creatively reinterpreting laws protecting unborn life that had been on the books since the mid-'80s and early '90s. Meanwhile, the Biden administration ramped up its all-out push to counter the effect of Dobbs by creating a 50-state mail-order chemical abortion drug economy. That openly flouts federal criminal laws against mail-in chemical abortion drugs. That's just a sample of what the administration has done to push abortion. On radical gender ideology, the administration has weaponized a raft of federal civil rights laws to threaten those who stand up for the basic scientific fact that humans are either male or female. Redefining sex threatens religious liberty, free speech, parental rights, and the equal opportunities of women and girls. Female athletes deserve to compete on a level playing field, not to be booted from podiums by males competing in female sports. Federal agencies don't have the authority to make these sweeping changes. The Constitution grants legislative authority to Congress, not unelected bureaucrats. If we lose that distinction, it won't be long before we lose our freedoms with it. Don't believe me? Ask a pharmacist facing punishment for declining to participate in abortions against his deeply held convictions. Ask a female athlete cheated out of victory in favor of ideology. Or just ask a fisherman in New England who's forced off the boat and out of work to pay for a federal agent at the behest of a Washington bureaucrat he can never vote out of office. To learn more about what Alliance Defending Freedom is doing to protect the Constitution's guarantees, visit adflegal.org/freedommatters. Before you go, like this video and subscribe to this channel so you never miss an episode.